Hey everyone, it's Porter on here, and today we're going to have a look at a tool called Longtail Pro, which today is being released in version 3 of the software. Now, I've had this particular software probably now for about 3 years. I bought it roughly at the same time as Market Samurai, and yes, I do use both tools together in terms of being able to find when I'm doing more intensive research projects. But for today, we're going to focus on Longtail Pro and why, in many ways, this is now seen as the dominant keyword research tool out there. Back in the day, it used to be all Market Samurai. But nowadays, a lot of professionals, people such as the likes of Pat Flynn now exclusively recommend Longtail Pro, and you'll see why as I go through this particular video. One of the main things that stands out that you will see is the speed. The ability to quickly generate literally thousands of keyword opportunities and then filter that down to your absolute best long tail keywords is really what makes the software stand out. So what I'll do is I'll just run you through the process of working through this tool and how it works, and just some of the things that I have noticed whilst using it. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create a new project. So you can call it whatever you want, the project title, you choose your language, you can include adult ideas or not if you wish, but most importantly, the targeting is what you're going to be looking at. So if you are wanting to work with like a local business owner, naturally you will need to select their country, and then you'll see over here there's a tab here that says local searches, and that can be very valuable in terms of your plans in terms from a local marketing point of view. Or alternatively, if you have a website that caters to a global audience, naturally the global search volume is what you would be looking at. But definitely you want to choose a primary country, and then your search network would normally be Google over here. So we're just going to create a project over there, and then we have this option here to add the seed keywords. Now, right off the bat, this is what immediately separates Longtail Pro from Market Samurai. With Market Samurai, you can only enter one keyword. With Longtail Pro, you can add multiple keywords. So, for example, let's say the survival niche. So, things such as survival training, and then we're going to click Add. Survival knives. And we click Add. Survival skills, for example. So immediately we can add all these keywords. As I said, with Market Samurai you could only add one, but I'm going to, for the purpose of this demonstration, only have 3 here, but you can literally add as many as you want. And then over here you can customize the data. So this is where you can start filtering it out. Now this can be quite handy to do at the beginning of your project, because in terms of really filtering out keywords and making sure that the software is getting as many of the best keywords for your research purposes as possible. So if you're doing a Google AdWords advertising, you would do a suggested bid over here. So let's say, for example, we want 25 cents to $1. We want to have a local search volume, for example, of maybe at least 350 to no maximum, naturally. And then advertiser competition. Now this is Google AdWords competition, just so you know, it's not organic search competition, but that is handy if you're doing a Google AdWords campaign. And then you see here it says the following requires additional processing time. You can have global search volume, domain availability, Google title competition, and Bing title competition. I'll select this once we've done a little bit more filtering from the keywords that are about to be presented. And then when you have all this in place, okay, I just noticed I made a spelling mistake over here, so let me just delete that one there and say survival skills. Okay, add. And then I'll show you another thing that you can quickly do here. So survival knives, you can actually filter by include and excluding certain words. So for example, we might want to include the word best survival knives and exclude the word free, for example. Now once we've done all of that, we will click this button over here, generate keywords, and fetch data. You can see over here it's busy processing, step 1 of 3, generating keyword ideas, and here it starts to present the options. So for this keyword over here, we already have 614 queries. It generates up to 800 keywords for your search result. So this one is sitting at 614, and then when it finishes with this one, it will then move on to the next one over here. Survival knives. Now remember, you'll see the big difference here of 39 versus 614, and the reason for that is because we added those additional filters for survival knives, where we said we only want to see where it says best and where it doesn't have free in the keyword. So that's why that one is much less. And there you are. That's it. That's how long it took. Literally, what was that? Maybe 30 seconds. Now I remember, back in the day, about 3-4 years ago, Market Samurai was taking sometimes 23 minutes. And as I say, this is just why so many internet marketers just recommend this product so wholeheartedly, is because of how quick it allows you to be able to get to the keyword ideas that helps you to really plan a website business and seek out an opportunity online. So let's have a look at the software now. So we have all these keywords over here. We have a suggested bid, we have local searches, and we have advertiser competition. Now, advertiser competition, as I keep saying, that is Google AdWords competition, and that is only really helpful to you if you're actually planning a Google AdWords campaign for these keywords. Now, what we can do is we can actually live filter these results. So for example, filter by keyword. Let's see if, for example, I want to see those keywords that had the word best, for example. So I can type in here best, and here we are, the best survival knife, best survival knife in the world, best tactical knives, and we can see the amount of searches that they have. We can also we can add different. So for example, if we delete that now, we can do another filter where we could local searches showing maybe at least only 1,000, where there's at least 1,000 local searches, and you see it immediately updates the filtering live there for you. So that's quite a little handy little feature just for your workflow, your keyword research workflow. Now if we want to find additional data, that is possible. We click over here and we can, for example, filter by the number of words. The software is called Longtail Pro, and to be able to find long tail keywords, we are generally looking for keywords that have at least 3 words in the keyword phrase. So if we only want to see those particular keywords, we can click number of words, and then you see over here number of words minimum, let's say 3, and no particular max, and now immediately it has filtered out the keyword phrases that have at least 3 keywords in it. If we really wanted to go long tail, we could maybe change that to 4, and here we go. Equipment survival list of supply, equipment survival list, survival school, survival tools, and you see quite long keyword phrases now being presented here. Best fixed blade survival knives, etc. For now, I will just leave that at 3, or I'll just actually remove that filtering for the purposes of this video. Okay. So once you've filtered our keywords and you've got a little bit of an idea of the type of keywords that may represent an opportunity for you, really the thing that you want to do now is you want to determine how hard is it going to be to rank for these particular keywords. Now Longtail Pro does make this quite easy for you to do. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to filter by keyword. I want to have a look at those best keywords again. And I want to look at this one over here, for example, that says best survival knives. And all you do now is you click the keyword, and now this page loads up, which immediately shows you some of the key things that you need to consider from a search engine optimization point of view. Now, for those of you that are familiar with SEO, this will be quite familiar to you in terms of what are some of the key things that you need to be looking at to determine whether this keyword that we have just clicked, best survival knives, is going to be a good fit for you or not. However, if you are quite new to search engine optimization, really the key thing that you're going to want to have a look at is title. So over here we see title on URL. We want to see if these particular results that are on the first page of Google, whether they have this exact keyword phrase in their title. So if we look at number 1, we see that it doesn't have it over there. It just says survival knife reviews. Then we have 10 best, so we've got best blade knives, but you see it's not actually saying the keyword phrase exactly as it's over there. This is the only one, best survival knives. These ones over here kind of say it, but even they could be a little bit better if they actually had the plural. Best survival knives, best survival knife. But you see what I'm saying? You want to look if your competing websites over here have this exact phrase in their title text. So that's the first thing that you want to look at. And then the other thing that you want to have a look at is the juice links over here. Now I can see that a number of these on the top 10 are below 30 in terms of juice links. So this does represent quite a good opportunity here to potentially get onto the first page of Google and start getting some of this 1000 local search volume. Now remember, on a global, if I had to, let me go back here. So we will click on, I'm going to add a click over here, and I'm going to look at global searches now. And we are going to, just quickly fetch that data. Let's say, for example, we want to see at least 1,000. But yes, we need to, just need to refresh that. Fetch now. They have changed a few things around in version 3 of the software, so it's good for you to actually see that. So if you do want a live update, you would see that yellow little marker there. You click that, you press fetch now, and then it represents the data over here. Okay, so now we have the global search volume 2. So let's go back to our what we were looking at in terms of our competing websites over here. Now another thing that I just need to mention too, you will not see all of this data until you have an SEO Moz account. Now you can get one for free, and then what you do is you just click over here and then you link your details in this area over here to be able to get access to the SEO Moz API that then finds all this data for you. Okay, so I was talking earlier about how to know whether you stand a chance, and I mentioned two things in terms of whether you stand a chance of ranking on the first page compared to these competing results. And I talked about the title, and I talked about the juice links. The other easier way of doing this is getting Longtail Pro Platinum, and as part of this launch that they are doing this week, they're giving a special price on a one-time, that's just a one-time fee. Normally you have to pay $17 to $27 per month to get access to the Platinum features, but you can get it for a one-time fee. And I would encourage you, if you're just getting started out and you are busy with quite an intensive keyword research project right now because you're planning new websites, I would recommend getting the Platinum version. I used the Platinum version about 2 years ago when I was in that phase of really just growing some existing properties. But I don't currently use the Platinum version now because I'm not at that stage right now. But the reason that you want to consider Platinum is because it really does help you in terms of finding which are the best opportunities by calculating this keyword competitiveness score. So, I mentioned two things. You can look at the title and the juice links, but this little keyword competitiveness index is an algorithm that has been developed by Spencer and his team that looks at numerous other factors, not just those two factors that I've talked about, to be able to help you find the keywords that represent the best opportunity for you. And if you're interested in finding out more about how that works, Spencer has created a video that you can look at on the sales page. You can also just click the link below this video too, and you'll go straight there to be able to see that demo in progress. But as I say, you're just starting out, or if you've got even if you are a search engine optimization professional, it can be quite time consuming to have to look at all these factors. But with Platinum, it just kind of calculates it all for you, and it can be very handy for moving forward with your projects. Okay, I think that really kind of brings this review of the keyword research aspect to an end. As I say, really the main thing that stands out about the software is just how quick it's able to generate really good ideas for you. And the other thing that I really like is the rank checker over here. Other website, other software products such as Market Samurai, you actually have to pay a monthly fee for this. And quite honestly, this is one of the tools and features that I'm currently using the most of Longtail Pro, is this rank checker. And being integrated into the software for free is really just a great little added extra for you for this particular software. Now remember, Longtail Pro is launching today on the 16th of July. And there is a launch period of 1 week where they are massively discounting the software by 70%. You can get a copy of Longtail Pro for yourself now for $27, normally $97. And as I said, they will also be discounting a lifetime membership to Longtail Pro Platinum, which is something that I would seriously consider getting if I were you. And actually, quite honestly, even though I own the software, I'm actually debating whether I should get that myself too, because normally you have to pay $17 to $27 per month. Make sure to click the link below. There's a number of bonuses that are being offered, including WordPress plugins, training, and additional materials to really help you get the most out of Longtail Pro. And also to help you get started, I will be including, as I do with many of these promotions that we do, a free template from Elegant Themes. So once you have found your particular niche that you are wanting to get into and the best keywords for your website, this little bonus of a template will really help you to stand out by having a professionally designed search engine optimized template to begin your new website business on. All you have to do is you click the link below and then send your proof of payment to our email address, support@paultheron.com. Details are below, and there you'll have it. You'll have the perfect start to your new website venture. So I wish you all the best. This is excellent software in terms of doing some fantastic keyword research and really planning a long-term and profitable website business for yourself. Any questions, let me know, and I do wish you all the best today. Bye-bye.